Good afternoon, everyone. I think session post-lunch is really a difficult one. When people just want to relax and doze off, it's a really challenging one to engage the audience. Yeah. So what I thought, this is a very unique division that the government of Telangana has set up to leverage emerging technologies or Industry 4.0 technologies. In fact, after we set up this separate wing called emerging technologies, Ministry of IT also replicated the same model, and other state governments are also replicating this model. So I thought I can share this with you, so that it's kind of become a best practice. Even other states like Tamil Nadu recently came to us and tried to understand what we are doing, how it became successful, and they're replicating this model. So we set up a separate wing. How much time, by the way, I have? Sorry, Shivani? 10 minutes, okay. So we set up with the twin objective. One is how do we leverage these technologies for solving problems on the ground, for enhancing service delivery, for improving lives of the people using these set of technologies on the left, if you see AI, blockchain, IoT, robotics, and so on. The second thing is, if you really need these technology solutions, you need to have an ecosystem that develops these solutions, right? Because solutions just don't come out of the blue. And if you're using these technologies, there are no off-the-shelf solutions that are available out there, You have to really, somebody is there, should be there to innovate, and the startup ecosystem in Telangana is offering innovative solutions for us, and we work towards developing that ecosystem. And in order to achieve these objectives, we actually come out with tech-specific frameworks, policy frameworks, because each technology requires different things that the government will have to do. If it's a blockchain, it's a different thing. If it's AI, different set of pillars. If it's drones, which was earlier highly regulated, when we started off in 2019, I think, it was highly regulated. Later, DGCA relaxed regulations, and now drone industry took off. So different kind of things for each. So if you look at AI, space tech, robotics, cloud. For cloud, it's not for the industry as such, but it's for the government to move to cloud. So we came out with a government order mandating all the departments to move to cloud and blockchain. So while we work on these frameworks, we also set up centers of institutes or institutions of excellence. Because framework at the end of the day is just a document, right? We want to actually execute that framework. So for that, we need a team. So we set up entities, all center of excellences. TM is Telangana AI Mission that works on our AI framework. Then NCAM is on 3D printing additive manufacture. This is in partnership with Government of India, Ministry of METI. And cybersecurity is our own center of excellence, COE center of excellence. Then we have e-waste, because that's one of the biggest problems that the country needs to address. And this center is actually coming out with low-cost treatment solutions for electronic waste. So these are the different entities. So just to give you a glimpse of what a framework looks like, this is the AI framework that we actually launched in the year 2020. Most of you might be aware that Government of India has come out with India AI Mission. Probably morning Abhishek Singh sir might have actually detailed you on that India AI Mission. Not sure if he has come. So we actually came out with this, these pillars way back in 2020. And if you look at India AI Mission, most of the pillars are similarly same, but with a different names. Compute, data, ethics and privacy, research and innovation, which enabling adoption, which includes use cases, and a fund to actually, for startups. And this is a structured approach that we adopt, because we, as I said, one of the primary important thing for us is to implement solutions within the government, be it in the agriculture department, education, healthcare, whatever you take it. This is a structured approach which works very well for us, Emerging technologies is a small team. We go to individual departments, sit with them, understand their pain points, and try to understand where technology can be implemented to solve those problems. So once we understand, okay, this is a problem, probably AI can solve it, blockchain, drones, whatever. Sometimes technology may not be required, and we leave it. Right? It's just not like, because technology, hey, you should use karo, vaisa nahi. It should solve a problem. That is the underlying theme. So once we identify that, we actually implement a proof of concept so that the department gets confidence, Yes, it takes a kaam kar raha, AI is working, blockchain is working, drones, and so on. Then once they get the confidence, we actually scale it up across the state. So that is the approach that we are actually adopting, which is really working well for us. Then secondly, so far we are working on more than 52 projects with various departments, more than I think 10 departments across. And again, in all these projects we have partners, it's not that government can work alone. Some are with, civil societies, foundations, enterprises, startups. Because these are new technologies and we need to find in partners, who can actually come out with innovative solutions. So to give you a glimpse of the kind of projects that we are working today, at the center, if you look, it's agriculture, Here we worked with World Economic Forum, which was kind of an advisory body for us. We identified different solutions for crops, If you take one crop, chilies, end to end, what are the different solutions that we can deploy? That's what we did. And we use AI for quality assaying, advisories, blockchain for traceability, drones for spraying, different technologies. At the end of the implementation phase, we carried on impact evaluation and the farmers actually gained more than 20% revenue or income, I would say. Then now we extended this to more than 50,000 farmers. Then on the right side, if you look at monitoring wildlife using AI tool, the forest department had huge data, they had about 4.5 million images, but they didn't know how to make use of it. Those were captured by camera traps. So we actually, we also didn't know what kind of solution really helps them. Their images, how do we use those images? Then we ran a grand challenge. A couple of 60 startups applied for it. We filtered out 10, then finally one startup was given this work. They developed an AI tool and now the department is so happy. Now they're able to identify 20 species of animals moving across the forest, Of course, this is a pilot. So based on a pilot in the sense, we're using the data that is already captured. So they could understand where these animals are moving, whether food is available to them, water is available. Otherwise, their beat officers, who are recruited, they have to, actually they have some jeeps, sometimes vehicles, but they have to go on foot, covering acres of areas of forests, So this really helped them. And now they came back to us and said, "ठीक है, बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहा. Can you help us give us real-time alerts? Like as and when a poaching is happening, an official should get an alert saying, यहाँ poaching हो रहा, can you take action? Or if an animal gets injured, or if there is a fire incident, or some illegal persons roaming around." So now we're working on that, setting up AI cameras with edge computing. So probably in a couple of months' time, that solution will come. And the bottom one, Election Commission ke liye, this is a very interesting project that we did. They came to us during the COVID time, saying that, can you help us with some app where, these COVID patients and citizens can vote from their homes. We formed a technical committee, IIT professors सब करके करे हम जब तक भी conceptualized COVID चले गया था बाद में state election commission came back and said ठीक है ये आप करो ये नहीं most of the urban voters are not voting so let's use this for urban voters rural में तो percentage ज़्यादा है we did develop this had a dry run excellent but again it needs a political will to take a decision that's where it is so and iRaste which in fact these are AI devices we call them I forgot the acronym. These are AI devices that are installed on the buses that gives alerts to driver when he's about to collide. Like there is sufficient time given to him or her, to take care. When he's overspeeding, when he or she is dozing off. So in fact, after we implemented this, and you might be aware that India has the largest number of road fatalities in the world compared to US, China, you take any country. And every, I think, 3 minutes or something, a person dies because of an accident. And these persons are between the age group of, very productive age group, young, between 18 to 35. So we try to solve, well, you have laws, enforcements, nothing is working, to reduce the accident. We said, okay, can we try technology? So after deploying these in 200 buses, 6 months ke baad hum study kare, we came to know that the accidents have come down by 40%. And in fact, this was last year, I think, during the conference of chief secretaries, this was presented to the Honorable Minister. Of course, all our AI use cases we have presented to him, agriculture ka, all this, But he chose this one, iRaste we call in the bottom. He said this should be replicated across India because Government of India's objective is to bring down the accident rate by 50%. So these are the kind of projects that we call it as population scale projects, So these are some of the projects that we are doing, these are mostly AI use cases. We are using AI to solve these problems. So as I talked about, this is road safety that I talked about, where advanced driver assistance systems, that's what, and collision avoidance, they're called ADAS devices. So you saw 33% reduction in accidents for buses, that's what we have, arrived. Then moving on, I've already talked about monitoring of wildlife using AI. Yeah, this is the one that we are about to release this app. And this is the biggest social problem in the Telugu states of India. I don't know about the other states. Many students as young as, about 10 years, 12 years, they're consuming drugs. And this is rampant in the state, We have set up a narcotics board also that is actually looking into it. So we went to the department asking if they need any help in developing a tool to help them investigate the, these narcotic cases. We said, hum aapko Gen AI tool denge, you can just, your officers can quickly say, ye case kaisa solve karna, wo sab, we did that. We actually, but they said, no, we don't want this. Can you develop a tool for the parents using which they can actually assess if the child is consuming drug? Because what they said was, the department officials, usually parents, they don't talk such things outside because of social stigma or whatever. They don't want to talk with anybody on this. So if there is a tool that they can administer in the comfort of their homes, probably they would be able to, identify at an early stage and save their child is what they told us. So again, we actually scouted for the startups. So 3, 5, 10, three startups. One startup called United We Care, they have a mental health wellness solution. So they customized their solution, gave it to us. Of course, clinical psychologists, sab milke kare, because a set of questionnaire was designed, for to be administered. Children ko nahi, like, parent can fill it like, is your child, sitting alone in the room? Is her or his appetite has gone down? Friends se kuch jagda hua? Did his marks fail down? There are a series of questions. It's not like continuous. AI automatically judges whether you're actually answering it right or wrong. Based on that, it changes the questionnaire. So in fact, it was rolled out initially as a pilot, and they could save actually 500 lives is what the department told us. Now in this next week, 10 days, our government is celebrating the anniversary. I mean, the new government is in place for the last 1 year. They're celebrating the success stories. So this application now, we are rolling it across the state, which can be replicated elsewhere in the country. So hopefully this will actually help save lives. So these are the kind of projects. Then one problem that we face when we went to the departments is, they said, how do we evaluate AI solution? While as emerging technologies, we are helping them, but again, we cannot scale up, right? Every department ko jaake help nahi kar sakte. So with GIZ Fair Forward, we are developing this procurement guidelines, like how to evaluate a model, how to evaluate a solution, how to look at the data if it has biases. Again, one of the biggest or the negative side of AI is, biased, ethical concerns, exclusions, and so on. So how do we address them? So this again, once we do this, it can be used by other state governments as well. So, and this September, we have actually organized, while we have done so much, we wanted to reassess ourselves. We started off working in AI in 2020 when Gen AI wasn't there. So with the advent of Gen AI, what is that the state need to do is what we want to analyze. And we launched this AI implementation roadmap. It was launched by our Chief Minister and the IT Minister. And again, these are the verticals that we are currently working on. AI-equipped government, wherein we are going to scale the POCs. We use AI for e-governance and improving efficiency. The second one is AI-ready data sets and models. We already established a data exchange platform called Agriculture Data Exchange Platform, where all the agriculture-related data sets are available. Now that we are planning to expand to other sectors as well, like healthcare, education, transportation. We also have a data portal, open data portal. But this is an exchange platform where government or even you call research universities, startups, anybody can make available that data. That's what we are building. This annotation hubs, because just like the back-end office of this IT services sector, now annotation is, there is huge job creation in this area. We want to set up annotation hubs, data, then AI skill population. While we have been focusing on students to make them employable in AI, but we also want to skill the general population. They need to understand what AI is, how it impacts their lives, how they can use it, so that they're more, become aware of AI. That is what AI skill population. Of course, this skilling covers the entire spectrum, starting from citizens, government officials, schools, engineering students, even working professionals, the entire spectrum of the population. Then we are setting up one of the biggest challenge across India, startups are facing, companies are facing is availability of compute. Very expensive for the startups, not available also sometimes, So we are actually setting up these GPUs. We partnered with a company called Yota that's there, and CDAC is also setting up. This we signed an MOU during our summit, and recently we also met, NVIDIA summit happened in Mumbai, right? So we also had discussions with NVIDIA as to how to take it forward. This is about the enhanced ecosystem, of course, and our Chief Minister has announced, launched, setting up an AI city. We want to bring the entire AI ecosystem at one place. They're calling it as a future city. So this is the AI roadmap that we have launched, and we are working, on this. And we just launched it on September, and these are the partners that we are working with. Meta, Bhashini, and Sarvam AI, we are working with them to enhance service delivery, citizen services. जो हम मी सेवा के, you use मी सेवा to deliver, there we are using AI. Then we want to set up 10 COEs in the State Center of Excellence, AI City में. We already identified 2 partners. One is in healthcare, the other is in AI in gaming. COEs, compute clusters I already talked about. And GovTech use cases, we are partnering with JPAL. This is Jamilal Poverty Alleviation. It's an organization set up by the Nobel Prize winner Abhijit, I forgot his last name. He has set up this, to help governments. They are into impact evaluation. Once you do something, they come and tell you whether, that whatever impact that your outcome is actually, coming out or not. But they're also partnering with us right from the beginning, from identification of use cases till the implementation. Yeah, skilling I talked about. The other one is AI sandbox. Most of the startups, they don't have an environment to test out their solutions. We have a very dynamic, startup. We have T-Hub, one of the largest incubator in the state that houses hundreds of, startups. So we are actually building this sandbox with the help of JICA, and BCG is the consulting partner for this. So another one, all of you know, in Gen AI, large language models, they're developed on the English language, right? All the website data and all, but we don't have Indian specific LLMs. And in fact, when Sam Altman came to India last year, he also challenged that it's impossible to build an LLM, That's when Tech Mahindra and other companies took it as a challenge and they started developing LLM. So for us, for the state, because as you know, most of our rural population, they cannot speak or write English. So we want to come out with our own language, Indic languages, or for us it's Telugu. We are developing a Telugu LLM, where services on top of it, right, AI services would write. And one key thing that we are looking at is, as most of our rural population cannot key in data, we are looking at speech, speech-based services. Like if a rural woman in a remote village wants to actually have a revenue certificate, caste, or even a government service, she need not sit and type something, even on a smartphone. She just can speak saying that I'm so-and-so from so-and-so village, I need this service. See, the back end, speech to text, text to speech, everything should happen in the back end. And whatever service that she asks, it should happen through voice is what we are trying to do. If that we can do, it will be the game changer in AI, across India. So, and this is the AI city that we have conceptualized. This is evolving. This is the last slide. So in the AI city, these are the components. AI compute, I already talked about. Big tech R&D centers we want to set up, because R&D is a core to AI, again, data exchanger, skill sandbox, and so on. So this is all from my side. This is what we have been doing, and we strongly believe that technology is an enabler that can transform lives. Thank you. So.